Hello, this is Anthony. I just wanted to give a quick rundown of how AI Dungeon works for those of you that maybe never heard of it. In order to do that, I'm going to briefly take you back to the late 70s and the early 80s, around 20 years before I was born. So this is Zork. It's the first ever text adventure game to see, quote, widespread commercial release. Basically, it just involves the user typing in all of their actions in order to advance in the game. So you can see here, west of house, you're standing in an open field west of a white house with a boarded front door. There's a small mailbox here. We'll open the mailbox. Sure, nobody's done that before. Opening the small mailbox reveals a leaflet. Take leaflet. And we take the leaflet, we can look around. Yeah, it'll just output the same thing. This is all scripted, all of it, you know. Some developer typed out all of this, do this if user types this, for the most part. So AI Dungeon actually relies entirely on artificial intelligence to generate completely unique and coherent story advancements. Basically, it's a text adventure game where you could do whatever you want, and it's free, but there's an optional subscription that I pay for, which allows you to use what is, as of right now, one of the most advanced text generating AIs known to man. It's called GPT-3. Microsoft and a bunch of other companies are investing a lot into this exact AI, trying to incorporate it into their workflows and their software, and they're actually doing it with moderately terrifying success. But yeah, let's get into the game here. Let's jump into a basic prompt. We'll do fantasy. We'll do ranger. I'm a little familiar with how starting as a ranger uh, starts, how the prompt forms. So we'll enter our name, generating story. The first half of this prompt, I'll actually highlight it right here, and we'll read it. But that is pre-generated. So everything after this will be generated by an AI, or I'll type it, you'll see. So, you are Anthony, a ranger living in the kingdom of Larian. You have a hunting bow and a quiver of arrows. You have been searching for a mystical beast for 3 months, tracking it through the forest. As you crouch behind a clump of trees, you see your prey, a unicorn. It is a beautiful sight with a glistening white coat and a golden horn. Sadly, this creature is beyond beautiful, for it has a healing power beyond compare. Alright, a little bit here. So this, what I just highlighted, was generated by the AI. And we can actually hit retry if we don't really like what we see here. You know what? I'm actually going to do that. Now it's a wyvern. So a wyvern, you believe it is a winged reptile and will make an excellent addition to your collection. Sure, let's go after this wyvern. Let's, well actually let me explain really quick. So there's three main ways to interact with the story. There's your do, and exactly here it says what do you do, and then you could just type in what you want to do. Shoot the wyvern with an arrow or something. You can click on this and also get to our say, which will say whatever you type in here. Your character will say that out loud to whoever's around or maybe to himself. All depends on the story. And then, yeah, story. We can just add anything to the story. We could say, let's actually add something to the story. We'll say all of a sudden, and you know what? We don't even have to finish this. We could just hit comma, all of a sudden, hit enter, and now it'll take a few seconds, but AI will generate. All of a sudden, a shot of pain courses through your head. Your vision goes red, and you see a symbol in front of you. It looks like this, and that, unfortunately, I guess there's no image for it. So we're gonna hit retry. All of a sudden, a bright light flashes in the sky, and a loud rumbling is heard. You look up and see a wormhole open up in the sky. It begins to rain down upon the forest. That's interesting. Let's take shelter. So we can just type, take shelter, and the AI will generate a response. So you run under a tree to take cover from the rain of worm droppings. So it's a literal, it's a literal wormhole. Um, as you wait out the storm, a large piece of what is probably more space debris falls on top of you and crushes you to death. Okay, you know what? We can edit this. We're going to delete all of that. And now we'll just pretend like we didn't die, because we can do that. Um, and you know what? Really quickly, I just want to demonstrate the talking to characters. So we'll say, all of a sudden, someone approaches you, a wanderer. Sure, just a quick example, but it is a young girl about the same age as you, long blonde hair and blue eyes. You're certain you have never seen her before. Hello, she says. Hello. What brings you to this forest? And you can ask them questions. It's unbelievable. You can just have full-on conversation with these characters. Whilst I'm trying to find my parents. Do you know where they are? She begins to cry. I'm sorry, she says. And then we could actually hit enter to generate more if we're not happy with kind of incompleteness. Got lost during the fireworks. Do you know where we are? She shakes her head. No, you try to think of what to do next. So, I'm going to actually end it here. Uh, it's, I mean, there's a bunch more to it, but these are, I guess, just the basics. I'm going to keep this brief. There are whole worlds and scenarios that other people create. There's multiplayer, there's quests, there's world events, and the developers, Latitude, they're always adding more stuff. They're extremely receptive to suggestions and feedback, and they provide updates almost every day, actually. But yeah, so that's AI Dungeon for the most part. It's already scary how good the AI is, and the developers have polished it quite a bit, but new iterations of GPT and other AI will make AI Dungeon even better. But for now, I'm actually going to be starting sort of I guess maybe a little bit of like a diary series sometime today or tomorrow, where I play AI Dungeon with a friend or two here and there. Uh, either either we'll use multiplayer, some form of screen sharing. So yeah, that's AI Dungeon. Yeah, I'll link it in the description. Uh, it's not hard to find.